Janna, or some people will go, oh, this is a resident sleeper pick. I think not. I think for WE, a bit of adaptation in the draft here, and now that they've got the Wukong, Monkey King lives on in the side of Morgan. He actually gets a matchup that he can play this time around. It's exciting to go into game 2 because for WE, everything on the line. Let's not forget, if WE lose this series, they'll be 6-6. That means they only have 4 series left to play, and their schedule is hard enough as it is. IG, LNG, EDG, OMG. They need every win they can get, and eStar is only the start of this rough schedule. So they better start now.
I think WE have given themselves the tools to make that work, though. Morgan and Teacher Ma in the team fights are looking in conjunction with the Cyclone into Equalizer that we talked about in the last game, and that gives the bottom 4 of WE the opportunity to turn onto Cryin when he tries to go in aggressively. You've got Monsoons, you've got Tornadoes to keep everyone else from eStars out, so it's trying to beat down Cryin is the idea, or at least get the Kassadin out of these team fights.
I was just listening to the Kassadin to speak of the devil. He sounded like this. I don't know what he was saying. But boy, oh boy, was it scary. Cryin has gone for fleet footwork here in this mid lane as well. A standard we've seen in this lane too. And to look across the board, we've seen, instead of like an airy Janna, they have been comet Jannas, especially from Xiaoxi. So good to see it here from Missing. The poke, as you mentioned here, will be very nice to play with. But Wink's also going to be poking. It's another lethality virus, which has become more common here in the LPL.
Especially with the composition that eStars have gone for. When you've got these flanking solo laners in the likes of Set and Kassadin, if you've got this lethality virus who can help to finish off these low health targets from the Kassadin and the Set, you can really turn these fights in your favor.
Good trade here from WE to start things off. Wink at half health. Another bully lane here to deal with. Yeah. You kind of forget. Janna's just annoying. Janna is just super annoying to deal with. It's only when you get on top of her that you think, this champion's weak. But starting with the W here, the Zephyr, I believe it's called.
Getting onto this Janna is exactly what eStars would be looking to do, though. If you can set up the likes of Cryin or Xiaobai with the ultimate from Xiaoxi, but then you've got enough survivability that you might be able to close the distance. But Wei looking to get
Teacher Ma so far pushed out here, Dagda. The pillar's going to go down. A flash needs to be burned in this situation. It's PTA, but never mind. Well held. Well held.
This is more so about getting Teacher Ma to back off a little bit. Okay. Cryin is struggling in this lane, so even if you don't force the flash, it's about removing some of that health bar and allow Cryin to farm successfully. This is a horrific lane for the Kassadin, because every time you go to farm, you're going straight into that flame splitter alongside the comet damage.
Especially without 6, Cryin is just going to have to stand there and face it, press a Q every now and then, and that's it. So with that game plan in mind, still at turret, but was able to get a bit more CS on the back of it too. 10 CS start here for Teacher Ma, while WE say this time we want bot, or rather again, we're going to do it. As WE have now got to get Teacher Ma out of this situation. Pillar this time with the flash. Flash over from Wei, he wants to commit, but Beisheng is down here. Pings are going down. Teacher Ma's taking a while as the flash committed from Cryin too. Beisheng with a good cocoon. He turns around to burn, but he will still die with Xiaoxi joining the fray.
WE should have been the ones that were able to control the pace of this game. You've got a losing bot lane for eStars, a losing mid for eStars, but WE didn't think that Wei would continuously gank towards the mid lane. Teacher Ma tries to run towards the safety of where Beisheng is in the bottom side, but he's too little too late. And even though both flashes are burned for the duo lane, the mid jungle duo of eStars, it's WE who falls.
Teleport used here from Teacher Ma to get back in the lane as well. So with an assist now, the Kassadin doesn't feel as bad here with the CS discrepancy. And Wei with first blood is heading up towards that top side. Potential now to strike.
So now Wei can try and help out on this top side, as you were saying. Xiaobai shoving in pretty effectively. Morgan, though, you still have to be careful trying to deal with this Wukong. I don't think they're going to go for it because of that invulnerability, or invincibility. No, that's not the word. Invisibility. There we go.
I was with you all the way. They all start with I. That's okay, Dagda. I'm with you anyway. Cheeky little ward we could see behind the mid lane to spot out Beisheng. This is a defensive ward that will see the Elise coming. Missing as well, going to walk over too. And Cryin just has to sit here and watch. So respect's paid while Teacher Ma tries to hit down his first bit of turret plating.
Cryin is just trying to stay in XP range here. Knows that he cannot approach this. Teacher Ma won't get the turret now, but that's definitely something he'll be able to pick up in a little bit of time. And this is the problem that we have when Wink and Xiaoxi are losing out in the bottom lane, Crying's losing out in mid. The entire bottom half of the map belongs to WE, and they can go to make these pressure plays and explode into the mid game where they're at their strongest.
I want to note as well that for eStar on the top side, they're keeping down this Wukong, right? Morgan is down by about 15 or so CS, maybe 10 after this is all said and done. So an individual lane advantage up there for Xiaobai, who had a great game 1 on the Wukong itself.
The difference here, though, is that Wei hasn't been concentrating his pressure on that top side of the map. Xiaobai, though, with the lane pushing in the top, wants to work with Wei here.
Teacher Ma has no flash. Pillar's great once again. Wait for the face breaker. Teacher Ma gets pulled in. He can take the turret because the showstopper not even up yet. But he's going to use it in a second. Morgan comes in. A triple cyclone used immediately as Crying now only level 5 can still follow this up. Dragon's going to go down in the meanwhile. Wink comes in as well. Morgan's in a lot of trouble. Hail of arrows to secure the kill. eStar's 3-0, now pushing mid.
Xiaobai still has his ultimate and he's wrapping around.
I mean, Kassadin just got 6 as well. They jump on in. WE are looking to die. They want to be punished for their sins. And Crying is a true savant on that factor. A good rent here from Jomong as he follows on up. Maybe eStars have gone too far in the end.
eStar want their cake and eating it too, but it backfires on them in that situation. They get the right play to begin with, forcing Morgan back, but diving over and over, putting too much pressure and letting that tower damage ramp up means that eStars will end up giving a bunch of kills back over to WE.
I have no idea what the heck just happened. I just saw people coming in one after another. You're right. And I thought, wow, really good dive. Xiaobai with the Haymaker shield to come through. And then he hits 6, and you're like, oh, eStars aren't going to stop.
So the reason WE were a little bit slow in that play was because Beishang was stealing away the dragon and now wants to see if he can steal away the blue buff. eStars will secure them.
I believe it went away in the end there as well, Dagno. I'm not sure if you saw that one. But, oh no, Kassadin got it. I was about to say, Crying without blue buff would be a bit of a feels bad. He's now towards the bottom side alongside Xiaoxi and Beishang thinking better about this dive.
So Xiaobai will just push in this wave, means that Teacher Ma losing out on a little bit of CS and then return towards his top side to collect the wave. Look how heavily, though, eStars are playing towards this bottom side, though, wanting to make sure Wink can actually get some of this CS safely underneath the turret.
And granted, this game, Wink is 1-0-1. A much better start, you would say, even though it is a big difference. Serrated Dirk picked up CS comparable to Jomong. I need to look across the board because after what we saw at Kassadin getting a kill, he's still behind 20 CS. So Teacher Ma dying twice won't matter in the grand scheme of things if they can continue pushing that CS lead, and Teacher Ma can activate across this map.
WE will now turn towards this Rift Herald. They do have the back advantage, so at least they've got that Cutlass completed for Jomong, which will help out quite a bit here. They need to be careful, though, because Wink and Xiaoxi have started to roam up from the bottom side as well.
Missing his zoning. Nice job. And now he's out of skills. The face breaker available for Xiaobai. He's at half health. Jomong is going to get ulted immediately into 5 people. Haymaker available for the shield. It's a lot of damage here as the equalizer comes down in the middle of it. Xiaobai walking out while Jomong is so low to continue the fight. He can't. It's done. eStars have the Herald. They've got Cosmic Radiance and ready. Crying in with the flash. Is invulnerable. Wants to jump on. The Rift Limp. Again? No. But doesn't matter. They got the balls to do it.
That equalizer from Teacher Ma was the big issue for WE in losing that fight. Didn't hit onto the key members, didn't work in conjunction with Morgan knocking up people, and it meant that eStars could avoid all that damage and find the teamfight victory. Now, with that advantage, they're going to take these turret plates that were prepped by Xiaobai earlier to get all this gold in towards Crying.
Okay, it is shared, but 410. Kassadin to Casa win. Feels like the direction we're going here. 2, 1, and 3. Catalyst of Aeons in the inventory. That's going to be a Rod of Ages with this back. And look at the top of your screen. eStars are ahead by over 2,000 gold at 9 minutes. The 15-minute stat looked to remain as we look at this one again.
So this was where they could have been able to turn this play. Xiaobai taken relatively low. But as Morgan goes in, the equalizer's hitting onto only to Morgan, which is not where you want to be. This should have been putting pressure on towards Wink and Crying to zone them out of the fight, especially when Wink has no flash available. You're trying to force this Varus away from the engagement. But only hitting onto Morgan means eStar can avoid the damage, go back in, and get away with what they want.
And while WE were able to trade with the first play we saw on our screens, they haven't been able to trade with the second one at this point. Look at what's coming up. 45 seconds till the Infernal. WE picked up the first Cloud, but eStar in a position to get the extra boost of stats already that Kassadin will enjoy later on.
10-minute Rod of Ages is going to give those stats pretty freaking quickly as well. So now, a Dark Seal with 3 stacks. This is a dangerous moment for WE. May not be in the next minute or two, but this Kassadin is well underway.
We've talked about Kassadin in our fair share of games of the LPL. It has been blind picked, it has been counter picked, it has been picked into losing matchups on purpose. And every single time we see it, it doesn't matter what lane it goes into, Kassadin ends up more than likely getting fed. Remember we did a 10.6 breakdown on Kassadin's success over the past couple of patches. He was 12-5 back at that time. And adding another win on the board here for Crine seems likely at this point, but we have to see what WE do next. The Infernal is up, and they're not out of this one just yet. Wukong still has the Cyclone, the Flash available. Teacher Ma with a good equalizer could really shut this down.
But it has to be that good equalizer. Teacher Ma left wanting for WE in that last fight. With Xiaobai already positioned towards this dragon though, and Morgan on the top side with no teleport available, WE can't even look to contest this. Morgan should just push in towards this tower and look to get some turret plating for himself.
Yeah, at least it would be nice to get some gold on the side of WE, right? Sacrifice the dragon so that while turret plating's available, give Morgan what he wants. And maybe look for Xiaobai on the back end. He's walking up towards this top side with 3 people hovering too.
This is the issue though for WE. If you're playing side lane game, you're letting eStar win. Crine is getting turret plates of his own, getting experience, getting gold, and that's exactly where this Kassadin wants to be.
But I will say, nice equalizer. Crine won't be able to get this second bit of turret plating, but that only holds it off for 1 wave. And Crine is really persistent towards this bottom siders. Nice little Howling Gale set up there by missing. Chelsea gonna have to back somewhere else.
So look at how WE want to try and push their advantages here. They've got a win over towards Jomong, but he's planted in the mid lane. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, wait, no, he's fine. So,
for now.
Yeah, what? He's approaching the wave. You've got Missing and Jomong starting to roam down here.
But at least he's got missing,
okay.
So he feels pretty comfortable here. But another bit of turret plating goes over to Crine. I think that's the most important part.
So Jomong and Missing are trying to stay in this mid lane to maybe work through it. This is where you plonk your AD carry in a lot of situations like this, especially when you've got Teacher Ma and Morgan with the double teleports. The issue though is Jomong can't push in towards the tower and try and get a few more plates for himself, or even use that advantage that he's built up with the 2 kills, because Wink with this lethality build can clear out waves so successfully. So Xiaobai now is free to stay on this top side of the map and just clear waves over and over with the Haymaker, while Crine with the support of Wei is bundling all this gold and experience into himself to become the late game carry. WE need to find some way to crack this to stop eStar shooting ahead.
He's sitting at this turret. He clears waves, as mentioned, so fast. Gonna sit here. He sees Teacher Ma at half health. Equalizer has a low cooldown, but now can't be used for the engage because Crine might want to dive this one. Gets the damage down onto Teacher Ma, and he has no MR.
And look at where Jomong and Missing are being pulled to. They don't know where they're supposed to go here.
Facebreaker onto Morgan. There's the first part of the Cyclone. 6 seconds remain to use it again.
This is how Beishang breaks it, trying to force Xiaobai back. The play is, hey, we've already lost our mid lane turret. Let's use that long lane to our advantage. We don't need Beishang to support mid. He can go top.
At least WE getting something, but the cost is Kassadin with more. So every time I want to talk up WE, I say, yeah, but Kassadin now has a 10, almost 15 CS lead over Teacher Ma. 4 stacks of the Rod of Ages. And with turret plating only just timing out, Crine takes a couple more. He gets the turret in the bottom side. I'd love to see the gold comparison because I think Crine is so far ahead. 680 gold from turret plating. Level 10.
And this is the problem when a lot of teams play against Kassadin, is that they can't accelerate efficiently. Now Crine is getting to a point where he's got a couple of stacks, and eStars are looking to play towards him once again.
I mean, he's got blue buff. He can keep doing this. Missing is setting in position to find a flank here. Howling Gale goes through between. Pillar as well to line up in front of Missing, but Crine's not scared.
Morgan and Beishang, well, Beishang at least anyway, is trying to push in towards this red buff, but now forced to flash away. In that situation, if you see the likes of Wei and Xiaoxi committing to a play on the bottom side, you should have Beishang and Morgan onto this Rift Herald straight off the bat. Now, Cryin is back. He buys it. Angels, stop.
Yeah, Pillar in the side. I'm as confused as you are. Beishang wants to go in and steal it away. At least he gets away at the end of the day, but he just burned his flash there from a simple Chains of Corruption that we saw on screen. Now setting up in front of this Herald. WE have moved, but eStar have Cryin in another side lane.
Yeah, Cryin has just picked up that Archangel staff, now pushing in towards the top tier here, can rotate over towards this Herald, and eStar are controlling this pace entirely. WE have got no way of fighting back right now because they aren't giving themselves the opportunity to.
And Wink starting to come through with the damage as well. Second serrated Dirk, you saw missing at half health. Janna is one of the squishiest supports in the game, or even champions in that matter. And now walking up towards the Rift Herald, I'm not sure this is safe. I think Cryin at level 11 is going to decapitate you.
Wink is low on mana though and doesn't have the Chains of Corruption, so WE potentially looking to exploit this, but they still have to be careful. Cryin, 6 stacks in the Rod of Ages, a decent amount of damage with Xiaoxi's Cosmic Radiance, can do a lot of work against WE in his current form.
And all it takes is one more fight. That Dark Steel with already 3 stacks in it becomes more, becomes a Magi's. And then that Kassadin goes even further than he already is. Sitting in the top lane right now while eStars, after all said and done, they get the Herald at the end of the day. And eStars, through these map movements, have already picked up a 4K gold lead. Are still increasing here as Teleport's going to be used mid by Wink once again.
So now that 4K gold lead is looking to be exploited by eStars at this Dragon. Ocean has spawned. eStars are looking. Xiaoxi wants to engage.
Good cocoon here. Half health onto Xiaobai, but he's healed up immediately. Simple as that. eStar's walking towards it confidently. Missing might be called out. Dazzle is there. Fate's Call used defensively. Chains Corruption onto Joe among the Pillar, the Flash. The Cosmic Radiance coming down. eStars get low, but not in time. Here comes Kassadin, and you knew it was over when you saw him fed early, but now you know for sure. Xiaoxi with a gorgeous flash, and Cryin's not done with you yet. Give him the triple. This game is over.
It was over. The second Kassadin got a 10-minute Rod of Ages. Now Cryin is sitting at 5-1-5. He doesn't want a double pentakill. He's going for that double MVP.
He's 5-1-5. This point, eStars are knocking down the doors because they can. Rift Herald going to get the charge. Wink with the extra bit of damage. And if this gets saved, that'd be great, but they can't. Missing gets poked down again. Cryin gets a bottom lane turret. And this is the eStar we were waiting for. This is the eStar that showed up at the start of the split, beat FPX, beat IG. The eStar that looked control.
This is the WE we didn't expect to show up though. We talked about how Teacher Ma can push in these waves effectively, and WE like to make plays towards the bottom side. As they tried to make a play towards the bottom side in this game, it all falls apart and starts Cryin on this tear. This is where Cryin stands now. Gets in towards the back line. We said, hey, the Monsoon can work to keep these people away, but with how fed eStars are right now, the flanks are too strong. Everyone is falling. And WE, they've missed their window of opportunity.
But man, all I want to do is talk about eStar here. That was clean. Good comms. Wei goes in. Xiaobai as well thrown into the back line. 2-man Facebreaker gets a stun. Wink with a start and change the corruption. Even Xiaoxi there with a great Cosmic Radiance and Dazzle flash to finish off the fight. Everyone doing their part. And eStar looking like a champion roster, one that deserves to be in playoffs here in the second game. WE running out of options. They're looking for Xiaobai. He's not overextending. In fact, he's bringing backup.
But this is why I want to look at WE. These are supposed to be the...
Oh no, Beishang. He's back a little bit later. eStars are getting the remnants. Missing is here as well. Where do they go? Because Cryine's going to track him down. Missing is so squishy. The ult used to disengage, but it's not enough. Cryin is evaporating everyone he comes across. And Xiaobai not done chasing this one up. Janna at least has the movement speed, but eStar already took the jungler. They've got a Baron coming up in 50 seconds. That would be icing on the cake.
They're just going to take this top lane tower. Morgan's down on the bottom side. You can see Jamong is trying to push out this mid lane wave. But with the wave here, Wink fed, and Cryin playing over the wall to assassinate anyone who comes too close to this turret, should be eStars. Although, as I say that...
Chains of Corruption, look, Wink is ready to queue onto the Janna. Fate's Call used defensively yet again. eStars in front of the turret. Demolish. This is gone as well. Cryin sitting mid. But look at Morgan. Morgan's like, what can I do here as a Wukong? I'm going to try and push a side lane. I'm going to try and get something.
As a 0-3 Wukong, a 0-3 Rumble, that combo that we said, there's no way you can get that to work right now. And we said, look, WE, they had their opportunity in the early game. They tried to make the play, but that failed because Teacher Ma gave over a kill. Now they tried to find the, or after they tried to find the fight at Rift Herald, that fails because of Teacher Ma's ultimate. Unfortunately, WE, your opportunities that you had, the times that you could have made this work for you have failed, and Crying
I don't think he dies here. They're going to get the cocoon, they land on top, the burst is coming through, Crying might be caught out, can he turn it around? He doesn't have the Seraph's Embrace fully upgraded, so he dies. That's good. That might do something.
It will delay, it'll give time to WE to try and get control in this Baron area, but it's not really going to stop too much. Teleport is still available for Crying, but if he just situates himself once again down in this bottom lane, draws multiple members of WE down, now that the Baron is spawned, there's the opportunity for eStars to take the fight at Baron, take the Baron if they want to, while WE are trying to deal with Crying in the bottom lane.
We can see the pick potential of WE. Another couple more times here, if they get Crying with the longer death timers at this game, then maybe WE can do something, but right now it is a big ask. Baron has spawned, as you mentioned, WE are heading towards it. Crying is up and now has TP.
They found the one opportunity to make that play to slow down eStar's advances, but it's not really an opportunity for them to go for it again. eStars now are in a position where they can threaten the Baron if you make that play in the bottom lane.
Sitting in front, Vision still maintained. WE can't clear that one away. And Crying heading up towards the top side yet again. It's good to track this Kassadin, and it's good to track when the Seraph's Embrace is completed here, as Lichbane was picked up on the last back, still with the Dark Seal in inventory. But I'm waiting for that upgrade to make the third item, or at least the second item, bigger than before. Also note that we've got 2 lethality plus serrated Dirk on top of Wink, plus Xiaobai with an adaptive helm. He is unkillable at this point as well. Still a 7k gold lead. eStar's looking for picks before they want to start this big purple worm.
It's just Vision is the name of the game right now. Oh my Jesus, that is a lot of damage onto Beishan.
Wink is not 0-5 this game.
It is not. And now with that poke, eStars feel confident to start up this Baron. WE are forced to deal with mid lane wave. Xiaobai in the bottom lane with plenty of TP wards to get the flank that could seal the deal for eStars.
Now, this is the moment for Teacher Ma. This is the moment for Morgan. 4k. Still not dead. Crying over the wall to zone away. Teleport coming through as well. eStars pulling off the Baron. Crying jumps back in, and this is the play. The equalizer on top as well. Baron is secured though. And with the ultimate coming through, the flash on top. It's the Wombo effect. Great Cosmic Radiance, no damage done. And Crying still on the hunt. On top of Teacher Ma, this 3 item in 20-minute Kassadin doesn't stop here. Another triple. And when I said the game was done before, I truly meant it.
It wasn't even close. A 13,000 gold lead for eStars at the 23-minute mark. They will now push in through the middle of the base. They can't end yet, though, because it's so damn early, the timers are going to respawn.
But they will take a drag, and they will look towards securing this game off with inhibitors now broken. Inhibitor turret, rather, in the top side only. As Wink uses the Baron minion wave to clear that one away, and it's going to Youmu's away. And for eStar, it really feels like this team is back in action. The 3-series loss streak is looking to end right here.
And a lot of it is off the back of that man in the mid lane. Crying once again stepping up for this team. And Wei, I criticized him for this jungle Trundle pick, but he's made it work a lot better in this game than he did against the likes of JDG. And we can see here the results. You harvest what you sow, and they have sowed such a perfect game for them in this scenario.
Xiaobai, what's more to say? Great series here for the top laner of eStars. Cosmic Radiance stops any kind of re-engage or at least damage back from WE. And at this point, we're going to look at WE because as they cleaned up this fight, WE are 6-5, we said before. If they lose here, they will drop. Not in position, but they will drop to only 2 series left remaining. Excuse me, I'm going to clarify on that in 2 seconds. 4 series left remaining. It is our eStars who have 2 series left remaining. But eStars on this note as well. eStars will move up to 2nd. They will go above FPX. They will be 10-4, right under IG.
They want to get back into that place. eStar, we saw their last 3 series have not looked strong, but once again, they are back here. Can they keep the streak going though? We said teams would start to figure them out. eStar put on a different style of game in number 1, where they played towards the top side, got shell by Fed, and now it's Crying who's the one who's fed.
It's about to end right here. Look at the home guard bonus. Crying has found himself a monkey. Level 16. And it's really like a realm warp at this point here for Crying. He rushes on in. Xiaobai does work towards the inhibitor. Wow, the Fate's Call does save away missing. The Janna pick not working out here. And eStar's looking to end it right now.
eStar has confidently moved towards the base. It's 25 minutes in, and there we go.
There's the wombo from WE, but the Cosmic Radiant's going to stop it right here. They save one member. Wink survives, walks away while Crying is already onto the back line. He's already gotten a triple kill. He'll take his third of the game. And 3 triples spells disaster as eStars clear out the base. They end their losing streak here and finally put themselves back on top next to IG.
All right, we get it, Crying. You're sick of Chelsea having the most MVPs on this team. You want to make a very strong case for yourself to